is autistic neurodiversity expert. How are you this afternoon?
Good. How about you?
Wow, did I come through clear or what?
You did.
I'm trying to go through something, doing some research on my phone, which on one hand is good, on the other hand, when you get the small stuff, it's hard to read it. So I talked to Len. He's going to come on and be here shortly, but he is going to leave it a little bit early for his conference. But I let him know that it was going to be okay to do that without any problem.
Not a problem.
Oh, I'm going to shut my phone off because it actually is broadcasting through my phone also. Uh, am I back to just being one? I'm not duo speaking here right now.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm good. All right.
you're good.
Alrighty. So, do we have some unique activities that we're going to do today with the kids?
You're gonna decorate Easter eggs if they feel up to it.
Oh, cool. Now, do they like to do real crazy or do they like to make a brown? We did them and then until we reached a point where we could make a brown egg. That was always an objective that we were to do. Mom didn't think it was cool, but you know what I mean. To dye it till you keep dipping it until you get a color that's not a color.
Yeah, so it looks like poop.
Yeah. Oh, I've got to take a call a minute. All right,
Yippers.
Linda. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning, Ron. How are you, sir?
I'm doing just super, thank you. What's new and exciting? Did you get the? I'm not sure if it even came through. Okay, did you get the video of vacation scripts that I sent?
Yes, I did. I appreciate that visual. I had a couple questions about the video. You have a
Oh, okay.
minute?
All right.
Cool. I appreciate your time. Yeah. So, since I have the 13-year-old and the 17-year-old, no, they do not have passports. Her mom and I do, but they don't. So I didn't know. We saw the Turks and Caicos, we saw the Bahamas. I guess the question is, due to the fact we have a small window to work with, I think passports take 3 months or so. I didn't know if Turks and Caicos and Bahamas are those. You have to have a passport to go there, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'd say yes.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't have them, especially with kids in today's demographics? It could create an issue, and I want to avoid doing as much of that as I can. That's
Right.
possible, but it doesn't mean I can investigate it for sure. I'm going to be in Turks and Caicos less than 2 weeks
Oh,
myself.
nice.
So would I encourage you to go out and go there? I was just looking at some highlights and some other places I was listening at and looked at. It looked really incredible. One of my resources also one that came back that I was talking to, and she was putting together a package for Costa Rica, which she recommended highly because some of the resorts that they've got.
Problem.
We could, yeah. I'm gonna let me double check a couple things for you, see if I can lock down, give you some. Maybe we can give you some leeway, and maybe we can't. We'll do our best, okay? No,
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking that I was told that if you go with the cruise, then the kids don't need passports. Is that accurate?
yeah, that's more
They have to have birth certificates and
I'm sorry.
birth certificates and any other ID, anything with
Yeah.
photo ID, all
Yeah.
goes to that. Yeah, the cruise does make it because in the cruise, they can get you on as long as you stay on the ship. You know,
Yeah.
as
Well,
So we
long
might
as
just be
you
limited to a
depart from the
cruise
U.S.
because we
and
don't
come
have,
back to the
we don't
U.S.
have the passports for that.
yeah.
To be honest,
We'll
I'm
we'll
just thinking out
determine.
loud. You know,
Well, I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
look. I'm gonna work a couple different angles and give you some. I've got a
Okay.
couple other things. I'm glad you called me because I want. A Good Friday. I didn't know if you took the day off or
It's
where
not
you're
Good
at.
Friday.
And
It is.
Yes, but all the family's together now, so now's a good time to like hash things out.
yeah,
So I
well,
apologize. I didn't know if you were in the middle of something. I just figured I'd give you a call.
Yeah.
God's good. He knows we're trying to get on vacation. you know.
that's good. Psst, psst. Wait a minute.
Hi,
Let me.
Gary. Len Kaine checking in.
Good morning, Len.
On Good Friday. God bless you all.
Friday at noon, I have the privilege of hosting a radio show that actually goes worldwide.
Hey,
I
Ron,
I
you
have
want
a
to
good
mute?
friend,
Yeah, I'm
and
sorry.
Linda's going to take
He's
over the
leaving
show
the
here.
room
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
No,
as
no,
fast
you
as
didn't
he
know
can, which
Captain
isn't
Len
fast.
Kaine's personal friend. He happens to be the original Navy.
Okay, can you hear me? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, he's. It just takes him so slow just to stand up. Yeah, we have a client that wants to have a family vacation, and so he's trying to put that together um, for four people. Go to. I think the cruise is going to be the easiest for them. So, so we're waiting for Captain.
Mr. Len Kane is here, sir.
Oh,
And before we get started, some of our analytics are up, and I want to welcome listeners and guests from not all the countries, but here's a chunk of them. We are live in Brazil, United Kingdom, India, the US, Bangladesh, Turkey, Pakistan, Colombia, Kenya, Ukraine, Canada, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, Trinidad, Tobago, Iraq, and Jamaica, to name a few. Welcome, everybody who's here today.
wow. Hello, everyone. That's
Well, ladies and
exciting.
gentlemen, this is the great radio show that goes as many as 97 countries. And I happen to be honored to be the guest speaker every Friday. And we have Miss Ron Clayton here. He's one of the super advisors to the Golden Rule Society. But a special person is Miss Mary Stanley, and she's a super advisor to the Golden Rule Society as well. And our charity, we've been here for 57 years, ladies and gentlemen. We've been helping children, churches, charities nationwide and worldwide. And the nice part about it is we're not selling anything. But the nice part about it as well, it's free. Most everything is free in our organization. And that's the nice part of it. That some things are better than free. And we're happy to have you with us, especially this, the Easter weekend,
Yes.
because it's so meaningful to so many people in the world. What the good Lord did brought his son back from the dead, and he's now our Lord and our Savior. So stay with it because that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Making it a better world is your good guidance. And it's fun to be here, really is, especially associated with the nice people that I've mentioned. And we have listeners, as we say, all over the world. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to do yourself a big favor. While listening to the radio show, you get yourself a piece of paper and a pen because you want to write down some of the good guidance that we're going to give you. That's going to be free to you. And the nice part about it, to you and yours. The gifts that we offer you, you can share with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your church, and your charity. And that's completely up to you. Remember, we're not selling anything, but the most nice part is most everything is free. Something's better than free. I won't be redundant on that, but that's what you're getting. by being part of the Golden Rule Society charity. Like I say, 57 years, and some of the wonderful things that are happening in the Golden Rule Society are going to knock your socks off. For instance, one of the things that Mary Stanley has done with two wonderful children that she has, we have what we call the Worldwide Kindness Campaign. And I'll share it with you right now. And it's easy to remember, and it's going to touch your heartstrings, we hope and pray. And it goes like this: with kindness and love and hope in your heart for peace in the world, treat others the way you want to be treated, truthfully, with dignity and respect. And when you do that, you're sharing the love that your God gives you with others. And when you share it, do it with a smile. That makes everybody happy. Simple yet powerful. And Mary Stanley's daughter came back and asked her mommy, she says, why can't we have a kindness club in every classroom at school? So Mary Stanley talked to superintendent and the man in charge of the school and explained it to him. And they said, well, gee, that sounds like a pretty good idea, because the kindness club does not interfere with anything that the teachers are doing. It's just the kindness club is between the children themselves so that they have kindness and courtesy with one another. And what they do is, instead of fighting and arguing with one another, they're getting more of an education. And by the way, just last week, Mary Stanley notified me. She said we now have over 1,000 schools that are involved in the kindness clubs. And our goal is to have a kindness club in every classroom of every school in every city in every state of the United States and the world. There's no sense in stopping here just in the US of A. Every country should have it, because what does it do? It brings courtesy and kindness to the entire world. Because it's kind of silly and stupid to be people killing one another and fighting and wars, or all fighting and wars and all that. Makes no sense to me, because we're here to help and you're part of it. And you can share this information again and again, whoever you like, family, friends, neighbors, whoever want, because you're doing them a favor and yourself a favor. Because, boy, it's just a magic, magic moment. And there's so many nice things to do. Let me give you one other little hint, and I'm very proud of this, because this Hope Collection that we're a part of was founded by a gentleman by the name of Joel Griffin. What a wonderful man. And I happen to be, along with my wife, from Pennsylvania, the US of A. And Mr. Joel Griffin was also from Pennsylvania. He was a graduate of Penn State University and a brilliant man, and tall, handsome, just wonderful personality. And he was so attractive and productive that three of the presidents of the United States, all three of them had and hired him, if you will, to be a senior advisor to each of those presidents. What a man. And here's how the story goes. As years went on, when I was doing the Golden Rule Society shows, I got a call one day from Mr. Joel Gripping. And he said, Len, I've been following what you're doing. And he says, I think it's really great. And he says, I'd like very much to be volunteer to be a senior advisor in the Golden Rule Society. And I tell everybody it took me about 1 second to say, welcome aboard. Because a wonderful man, lovely, lovely wife and family. Sadly, uh, that the cancer got to him a few years back, and the good Lord called him home. So that's my Mr. Ron Clayton is now the president of the Hope Collection, and he's doing a great job. And by the way, he's also a senior advisor in the Golden Rule Society. We have about a dozen senior advisors, very successful people in their business, in their lives, and they offer everything that they can to help make it a better world for everybody. And that's the nice part about it. And to tell you the truth, Mr. Ron Clayton helping with the Hope Collection. And this is the reason why you can listen to the radio show here because of him putting on the show. When every one of those senior advisors that I have, or we have, I should say, comes up with something special, I always compliment them and tell them, hey, this is really great stuff, and I'm going to double your salary. Of course, it takes them about just a second or so to say, hey, two times nothing is still nothing, right? That's right. Anyway, it's all in good fun. But we're here to help, and we're here to help you. And you are here to help your family, your friends, your neighbors, your churches, your charity. All you have to do is share what we're giving you. And I want you to have your paper and pen handy because in just a minute or so, I'm going to be giving you how to get logged in and take advantage of all that we have. And I'm going to, if you're ready, I'm going to give it to you right now. And you can tell your friends about this and they can listen and do the same thing. But here's what we do. We want you to visit our website. Most everybody knows how it goes. The website is www.goldenrulesociety, and that's all one word, no spaces. So it's www.goldenrulesociety.org. ORG simply means we're a charitable, nonprofit, tax exempt organization serving nationwide and worldwide. And that's the beauty part of it. And when you go to the website, you'll click all the links that are available to you. And let me give you an example, which I'm going to tell you, this tugs at my heartstrings. There's an organization that you're going to look up. You can look up, it's on, the name of it is Intiva Health, INTIVA. And I'll tell you how it started. I was in the Navy as a fighter pilot, and I was in combat and as a tactics instructor in the Navy, East Coast Top Gun and Old Navy Top Gun. And what we did was we put together a program that allowed tactics in air combat maneuvering. And when I put it together, I set a record. It's a world record. I flew 6 different type airplanes in 2 days, all in air combat maneuvering. And they called it the Capt program, Kaine Air Tactics. Everybody gives it little nicknames. But when you go there, because in combat over Vietnam, I'm flying around up at a high altitude. But who's down on the ground? The Marines. God bless them all. And they're down there doing their thing. I never met any of them at the time. But years later, after the war was over there, one of our senior advisors, a gentleman by the name of Jim Kyle, he was a retired Marine. He was also an attorney, and he was a senior advisor in the Golden Rule Society. That's the kind of talent he has. Wonderful man. So he told me to get myself down to Texas to visit with this gentleman by the name of Alexander Candelaria. I said, well, okay. Well, I don't know why, but I'll go down there and visit him. And I spent about 3 hours with him listening to him, and he was incredible. Technology-wise, super smart as anything. And he was wounded in combat and medically discharged, and he was going to call her down there. I'll make the long story short. I said, "What is the name of this organization you're trying to put together?" And he called it Intiva Health, Intiva. I said, "What's that?" Informational technology, digital, all that good stuff. And I said, "We got to do something with it." So I invested in the organization and we created his corporation. And it grew like gangbusters. Because now, about 3.5 years ago, Intiva Health became the world leader of medical professionals in the world, number one in the world. And every day we save lives. Isn't that a wonderful feeling? So I want you to write that down. Antiva Health. And when you go to our website, which I gave you, you'll look up there and you can find Antiva Health. There's a listing of it. They call it www.readydoc.com. But you'll find it. Plus, it's easy. Plus, one of the vice presidents of Antiva Health is the gentleman I mentioned earlier. Jim Kyle's his name. And he makes himself available. He's the vice president over there. People can call him on his telephone number. And you want to write this down? Your choice. 727 and 265 and 7007. And he can give you all the good guidance on all the wonderful things that are happening. Because guess what? Next month, my wife Ann and I are going over to Arizona. And what we're going to do is we're going to help raise the flag on the third manufacturing plant for Antiva Health. Now, this third plant is only going to be 5 times larger than the previously two plants put together.
Wow.
That's the growth, exponential, because we're saving lives. Doctors, nurses, hospitals, they're all involved in it. And they keep getting on board. Because every time I meet a doctor, I ask them about Antiva Health, and most of them say, "Oh, yes, I've heard about it." And I always ask, "Have you visited the site?" Well, not yet. And I encourage them to do so. And all of them then that do, they call me back in a few days and they say, "Len, why didn't you tell me about this sooner?" Because it helps everybody. We're saving lives and taking away suffering and pain. Number one in the world. That's quite an accomplishment for everybody. So there you go. That's for a bunch of them. And here's another thing. When you get onto the website, goldenrosesociety.org, there's one that says Hope for You. And again, what's the goal? Helping the needy worldwide. Hope for you. And there in that organization is Success for You. And what does it talk about? Educational, motivational, inspirational, character building guidance for people of all ages. And what does it give you? Success for you. You can't beat that with the stick. Very take advantage of it. Oh, there's so many other things. One of them I like to mentor is involved with Mary Stanley again. And I told you about the kindness clubs. Her kindness campaign is marvelous. And that's available with the Golden Rose Society charity. When you get on the site, you can do it. Oh, I'll tell you one more, and then I'm going to take a little break and have a sip of my coffee. But I'm going to turn it over to you, Mary, or you're Ron, and Bob and I'm here, ready to jump in. Take it and keep it going. I'm here to stand by.
All righty. Thank you. Well, this is Linda Clayton, And it's such an honor and a privilege to hear from Captain Kane. You know, these Friday calls are so wonderful because the knowledge, the excitement, the Golden Rule Society. It's I think 52nd year that they've been um, active, and it's such a fabulous um, clearinghouse. There's so much information that you can gain by going on their site. But also, Mary, if you want to talk a little about the Kindness Club that that is just taking off. And that's so exciting because the kindness campaign is just it just makes so much sense. Do unto others. That's the whole Golden Rule Society theme. Do unto others. And having it in the schools, it just seems natural.
Sure. So, the Kindness Club for Kids was created by my daughter in kindergarten. She was 5 years old. And so she is autistic. And all the clubs and activities that the school offered, she didn't feel comfortable or couldn't do.
Mm.
And so she wanted to create a club that meant everyone had to be nice to each other and learn to be nice. And so we started with the Kindness Club. And it started out in all of Connections Academy a year later. And now it has branched out to over 1,000 schools nationwide. And now we're expanding it to a whole new level to where not only are we teaching kindness to teachers and how to teach it as part of their curriculum, but we're also offering for neurodivergent students a different way of teaching them to understand one, their brains are wired differently, that's all it is, and how even if the world tells you you need to sit this way, speak this way, do things this way, it's how being kind to yourself and accepting who you are and growing based on your strengths and your challenges, you're made unique for a reason. And it may be hard to accept that in a world where everyone's trying to fit in, but embracing who you are is the key. And so not only are we educating teachers how to educate these students, but it's also for students that are typical to be able to understand they may say something differently, they may do something differently, but accepting them for who they are and growing with them is key.
Mary, you are just the epitome of kindness. And that's what it's all about. And people always ask me, they say, what is this kindness stuff? And I have to tell them the story. I was a coal miner's kid from Pennsylvania, graduated high school, and the very next day after graduating, I was off to the Navy. And I had my bag packed, ready to go. And my mother stopped me to say goodbye. And she said, this good guidance. She said, Lenny, remember this. Wherever you go, whatever you do, whoever you meet, be kind. Now, those two words are in my heart and my soul and my mind because kindness is what it's all about. And there it is. It's the kindness clubs, the kindness program, and simply stated, be kind. Wherever you go, whatever you do, whoever you meet. It's in my heart and soul, my mind, as I mentioned.
Mhm.
And it ought to be in yours as well.
Mhm.
It makes life great and better for you because people they like you rather than being obstinate and argumentative and all that good stuff. You're friendly, you're kind, you're courteous. Why not? It works. That's what we all need in this world today, rather than fighting wars and all that sort of stuff, as I mentioned before. But there are so many gifts that you have back going to the website. And if you didn't get it earlier, I'll say it again. Our website, it's Society. Again, that's just one word. www.goldenrulesociety.org. O-R-G. Charitable, nonprofit, tax exempt, nationwide, worldwide. So take advantage of all the things that are available to you. Oh, here's one that I think people kind of are going to like, especially in the US of A. When the doctor gave me a prescription, so I went to the drugstore and I talked to the druggist and I said, by the way, I heard this story about this organization called the Prescription Discount Program. And I said, are you a member of that? And he looked around and nobody was launching. So he says, no, we are not. But across the street, 3 blocks down, there's a drugstore. They are part of the prescription discount program. And I said, oh, that's nice. Okay. So I paid for my prescription. But the next time I went to a drugstore, I went to the one you mentioned. And with the discount from for the doctor, gave it him, and they said, oh yeah, the savings go up to almost 80%. Not all time because they vary. I have no control. They do, but they don't advertise about it. But they give discounts to get more people to visit. And all you have to do is ask. And if you're going to be saving money, it's worth it. It's worth listening to this program. It's worth sharing with others. And that's what it's all about. And all those nice things that we're trying to do. I have to just brag a little bit, but tell you that this all the programs that we've been doing for all these years, I've only got 5 nominations for the Nobel Peace. 5 nominations,
Congratulations.
courteous and kind. And they told me that in 2014, I was number 2 in the world. And of course, I told them, I said, I don't want to be number 2 anywhere. I want to be one. But anyway, there's so many other things that have happened, so many nice things that are going on. And the kindness, I keep talking about the kindness, and the kindness is never wasted. Never wasted. And who said that? A gentleman by the name of Aesop, thousands of years ago.
Hmm.
Kindness, as he said, is never wasted. So be kind. That's the nice part about it. And I talked with Mr. Ron Clayton and his wife Lyndon, who spoke earlier. Years ago, they invited me to be the keynote speaker for the dedication of the African American Veterans Monument up in Buffalo, New York. And the organization there, it was the Navy base, the largest Navy base in the country. And I was honored, humbled, and very pleased. And they had about 3 different video organizations taking videos of the presentation. And it was shown pretty much all over the country. And basically, I just would tell them what I'm telling you: how to be courteous, how to be kind, how to be successful, how to save money, how to be more healthy, all those good things. And why not share it with your family, friends, and neighbors, churches, and charities? I could go on and on, but somebody's knocking on the door there.
Doorbell.
Always say. So, Ron Clayton, if you're available, I'd like to hear a few words from you because I'm going to take a little break here for another sip of the coffee. Go over to you, Ron.
All righty. Ron? Oh, sorry. He is on he stepped away from the room, let's put it that way. So but um the Golden Rule Society and um because of that is why Captain Kaine has been nominated 5 times for a Nobel Peace Prize. Isn't that exciting? Because in fact, I had meant to mention that myself when I spoke a couple minutes earlier. But it's that type of honor that Captain Kane has received, and duly noted. Um, one thing I was just noticing, and when Mary set up unveiling Unveiling Valor with Captain Len Kaine, this Friday show. And where it says online what it's about, Unveiling Valor with Captain Len Kaine, join us for an inspiring conversation with Nobel Peace Prize nominee Captain Len Kaine, founder of the Golden Rule Society and the Kindness Club. Discover how his lifelong mission of service and compassion has created a global ripple effect through simple acts of kindness. This special episode honors the quiet courage, purposeful living, and the true meaning of valor. Isn't that what sometimes valor isn't loud, it's kind. And I love how Mary wrote that because that is so fitting for today's show.
Thank you.
Ah, you're wonderful, Linda. God bless you.
One thing I'd like to announce is starting tonight at 9:30 Eastern Time, we are launching a new show.
Ah,
The show is going to co-host a friend of mine, Rob, who is a life coach for dads with special needs children. And so we're going to break down everything that has to do with special needs, neurodiversity, things like that, and break down the facts from the conspiracy theories. You know, there's so much on the news about autism right now and so much being rhetoric being told that's fear mongering. And to understand that it's not a disorder that needs to be cured in a sense. It's a neurological difference. And there's a lot more factors into play than just you have autism, you're never going to get a job, you're never going to have this, you're never going to have that, because our military is 30% neurodivergent.
hmm.
I was and that's the people that came out and said, you know, I got autism, I have ADD, I have ADHD, I have these issues. A lot of us own businesses. You know, I'm on the spectrum. I served 15 years in our army. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I can carry and shoot a loaded weapon at the same time. The government trusted me. You know, we are only defined by our labels and what our surroundings allow or define us, and we allow them to define us. And so we want to talk about the truth and what it's like, and it's not all great. I mean, I have two kids on the spectrum. Rob has a son that's on the spectrum. There are a lot of challenges, but then at the same time, aren't all kids challenging?
Kind of goes with it.
And so the whole goal of this show launching tonight is going to be about that, understanding that it's no different than any other kid. All kids are a pain in the butt. Simple. It's just how you engage and deal with them and work with them that decides what they're going to be in your life and what they're going to turn into. You know, look at how many healthy, normal, average, smart kids end up doing something really stupid and ending up in prison.
Let me ask you, you guys, your kids weren't born in Paris or Germany, and so
So
you're
that'll be at 9:30 Eastern time,
that just makes it all work out.
and it's called Cracking the Spectrum.
That was like 3 months on the passport. So, yeah.
No,
The answer
yeah, yes, it is. Well, we have again.
Hello?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. His computer was starting to go out. I needed to plug it back in, and I just wanted to make sure that I hadn't lost connection. Sorry about that. Um, so,
How,
but
how do we log in, Mary?
I'm sorry. What was that, sir?
How do we log in at 9:30 Eastern time tonight?
It will be on here on Podbeam on Optimize My Life. I will send out the links to everybody. It'll also be all over also our social media platforms.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
that's wonderful. Yeah,
Wonderful.
and it just shows too how this platform, this Podbean platform, is it's so easy to use and easy to find different topics. I know we've had on Wednesday with Beth Wyman, we've had people from one from um, India and another from Russia join in, um, and they came in using the what is it called, the messaging system, that people could, if they're just, even if they're just listening, just type in a message and we could communicate that way, even if they're not live on the air. So this platform is really quite nice.
It is. And we are also on YouTube at Optimize My Life. We are also on all major platforms, including Apple, iPod, Apple, Spotify, you name them, we're on them. I stopped trying to keep a list. And we are finishing up, and we will be live on the Skylar Network starting next week. And so coming up, some of our shows will actually be video along with audio.
That is exciting. That is exciting. Except for the early Saturday morning show that I host.
Yeah, no, because this just gets out of bed at that time.
Yeah, so um, but it's exciting, and just being able to reach out and get a message across, like about the Golden Rule Society. Um, of course, Captain Kaine's message has been out for a number of years, but just being able to use new platforms and just get the message just spread that much more, and that's really so important that we can just reach out to people, give them the good news about the programs that the Golden Rule Society has to offer. Um, and because with the web, it's universal. I mean, there's you could be in India and go on www.thegoldenrulesociety.org from wherever you are. And that's what's so exciting. It's not just for Eastern United States, Central United States, West Coast United States that we're covering geographically just on this phone call.
And that's the
Wow.
nice thing. And also, Thursday's shows, we're bringing back the family show.
Hmm.
And I'll be co hosted with a young woman named Gabby.
Ah,
And she is autistic on a mission to actually join the government and help change legislation for autistic individuals. But it's going to be about how to overcome obstacles as a family and understand, you're maybe wired differently, but we still be the same as everyone else.
yeah. But with the doorbells ringing and phones ringing, life life just is, there's so many ways of reaching out to people. There's so many ways of communicating. As we can see there with my doorbell ringing and
Mhm.
my phone ringing and other phones ring, because people keep in touch and people need the input from others. So um, I know Ron had to step away because he has a client that with our business that needed some help. So that's why he had to step away. But it's wonderful that this platform that we can talk in upstate Buffalo, New York, to Minnesota, to San Diego. I mean, isn't that just so exciting that just the three of us, spread out around the country.
Wonderful organization, Linda, Mary, lovely ladies and gentlemen. This show goes on 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yes.
And I'm honored and humble again to do the show on Friday with wonderful people like Mary and Linda and Ron, other people that are just super duper leaders and dedicated to helping to make it a better world. I often tell people that they ask me what I'm doing, and I explain to them that I'm doing this charity work and I'm just doing the work of the Lord. He doesn't pay me anything, but I understand his retirement program is out of this world. At least we hope and pray for that, don't we? God bless you. Anyway, and of course, it's Easter weekend.
Yes.
So do what's right for you and your family and friends and in your religion. It's all working together, helping to make it a better world. And Mary and Linda, I'm going to have to be leaving here in a little bit
Yes.
because I have a conference that I'm committed to make and go. The
Of
It's an
course.
expansion of the Golden Rule Society charity, and
Wonderful.
it's an opportunity to help more people in more places, and we might as well do it.
Yes, definitely.
That's why we're here. Well, I
Well,
want to
thank
say
you.
God bless you all and have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed Easter weekend to you
Same
all.
to you. Same to you.
Okay. Bye
When,
bye for now.
bye bye. Thank you so much. Thank
Over to
you,
you,
Mary.
Mary. Over to you, Linda. Take it from here, ladies.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Have a good weekend, sir.
Yes.
Linda, what are we gonna talk about tomorrow?
Oh, I'm
Or are we not doing tomorrow?
we oh, no. I'm sorry. I have to leave and I'm going to actually a breast cancer luncheon. Well, it's a whole day program. Um and it's my first time that I've ever joined this group. I haven't really been going to any breast cancer survivor programs in the past, but I got an invitation to this luncheon, and actually, it starts at 10 a.m., so I have to leave like a quarter after 9 to get to where I'm going. Um, for some reason in my mind, I'm thinking it's Thursday, it's Friday already. So I am not going to be able to host tomorrow, but the following Saturday I can.
Yeah, I get to sleep in.
Yes, you get to sleep in. I can't. I have to get up and get dressed and head out early on a Saturday. So, yes. Yeah, tomorrow's the 19th already. Oh my. Um, it's been on my calendar for quite a while, and it sounds like a lot of fun where I'm going to. Um, so I will have to postpone tomorrow's call.
All right.
Okay. Well, you have a blessed Easter and a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Hopefully, the weather today it's 71 here in Buffalo. Monday it was 30. That is so typical for April up here. Um, and it's just lovely out today. Um, and then, of course, that means it will rain tomorrow, but it's April showers. But with that, I'll let you go and you have a wonderful weekend. And we will look forward to Monday's call.
All right.
Great.
So have a good
Thanks.
day, have a good night, and we'll see you all back here Monday morning. Bye for
All
now.
right. Bye bye, everyone.